Hey, what's up guys, it's T-Bone here and welcome back to another episode of playing Legendary Game of Heroes. So today's the second day of the event, the first Dragoon. And what we're going to do in today's episode is talk about some of the deck ideas I have. Some of these are going to be decks that are mix and match types with more budget friendliness in mind. And some of these decks will have Master Collection cards from previous events mixed in. The goal here though is to be able to take down the easy level bosses at high enough level. So there are three different difficulties now, easy, medium, and hard, but they've also increased the total level cap to 500. So at a 417, the easy boss is at 4 billion, whereas the medium goes to 48 billion, and then hard is at over 500 billion. And so the decks that we're going to build are going to be focused on taking down easy. And at the end of this video, I will be showcasing the full event deck in action as it takes on a medium level boss, so stay tuned for that. We're going to get started by using Guru Pachyscept as the leader because it's one of the event collection heroes and it's a very good healer as well as gem spawner. I really like this card, so we're going to take two of these as the god cards for this particular deck. To add more health and damage to the overall god deck, I also put in Illuminatus, which is a warden card that dispels poison and also creates a power gem 3 at 6 stars. I also put in a satyr in here for additional power gems, and you notice that I'm putting in a primal guardian in there for the 5th spot. Even though it's not an earth card, it can generate power gem 2s with every 10. It would create 1 power gem 2 for every 10 creature intensity. And so I'm bringing this card in to create the power gem first and then override it using Guru Pachyscept. So this takes advantage of the off affinity power gem and then overriding it with the earth gem to get you more power gems for more damage. And so what I do here is I wait until I get to 100 creature intensity to create 10 power gems here, and then you can see that's when I'll activate everything. So I create 10 power gem 2s plus additional power gems from all the other cards, and then I overwrite most of them, and I'm able to deal pretty good damage here for a total of about 4 billion damage there. Now for this other deck, I'm going to be using Guru Pachyscept again as a leader with a secondary card for that additional health. But what I'm going to do for the power gem creators in this case is Amy as well as Soul Reaper from the previous Dark event. Now, if you don't have Amy, you could also use Daniil from the same event or any other power gem generator to do the same thing. The idea here really is you have 2 cards that can generate a full board of earth gems, and it will overwrite other power gems that's on the board. And so if you have other options here, you could simply then bring them in. You just have to make sure to match the gems to be able to power them up, and then use Guru Pachyscept to then overwrite them. And what's nice about Amy as well as Soul Reaper is that they don't actually have any dependency on the intensity. So you have free space in your relic spots for the god relics that can be used to power up Guru Pachyscept. And so what you'll see here is I'm not really concerned about the health, even though I'm getting hit by poison. So this deck doesn't actually dispel poison, but I'm surviving. Now that we've matched all of the power gems, we're able to deal a total of 2.3 billion damage, and we're able to take out the boss with this particular team. For this deck, this is going to be very similar to what I showcased in the previous event, where you have 3 Nighthawks, as well as a Soul Reaper and a Sobek. Now, you don't really need 3 Nighthawks. You can actually take it out and put in any other card of your choice. I think having 2 of these cards will be sufficient. It's just like Guru Pachyscept. The way you play this type of deck is you want to make sure that you activate Sobek last, because you want to make sure that there are enough gems for it to trigger its ability to have 2 power gems created. So with this first hit, you're going to be able to deal about 400 million damage or so. So this is not a heavy hitting deck, a one-shot deck. So what you want to do is you want to keep going and keep grinding away. And you can see here, I've skipped forward a little bit, and you basically want to do multiple hits, take advantage of the fact that you can keep generating the gems and also survive long enough to be able to take out the boss this way. And what you'll be able to do is deal about the same damage. This is another 400 million or so, but just enough to take out the boss. Now, you might have also gotten the Legacy deck from a couple of weeks ago, the Player Celebration Week 2 event, so I thought I would feature this a little bit. Now, the cards are all level 1 here, so it's a little bit underpowered, but you can see how this plays out. So Sapphiron is a turn delayer card, and Ondaria consumes the Petrify that's cast by Sapphiron and then creates power gems, while Cerulean will also upgrade the gems. The first attack hits for about 200 million damage, but this builds up because we create more water gems and we upgrade more power gems later. So you can see in the second iteration, we deal a little bit more damage and the attack now goes up to 100 million. The nice thing about the turn delay here is that you're actually delaying the total number of hits you're taking, so you're surviving a bit longer. Poison is the only thing that is taking us out, but we're able to finish the boss with another about billion point hit, and we're able to take out the boss easily using this deck, even though it's an old Legacy deck. Now for this deck, what I want to do is revisit Primal Guardian and bring its buddies along the Sniping Watchhawk. Now the Sniping Watchhawk is a support card from the event that has exactly the same passive and battle skill as the current event card support card Sycamore, but the difference is this card is a balanced type card, which means its recovery value is higher, so it does a much better job of healing. As you can see here, when you attack, you actually heal a lot more. And I also have the Morte Thronos card in here to supplement with the heal, but mainly to dispel poison. So this card is really good for a couple of reasons. One, it creates power gems whenever it gets attacked with a debuff, and it also allows you to heal and also dispels any debuff that's on the heroes. So it's just a really good all-around card to have, and also because it's light, it's a good addition to this team. So now with this particular deck, it's just like a regular Halloween type deck where you're just building up intensity before you activate all the cards. So what I did there was I activated the Primal Guardian, and then I used Morte Thronos to keep all of the power gems together. Then I fill up the board with light gems and was able to deal a total of 3 billion damage to the boss, taking it out with relative ease. So one of the other decks I'm using that is capable of taking down the event boss at medium difficulty with Overkill is the deck from the Player Celebration event. So now if you have this deck, one of the things I wanted to showcase is the strategy and the timing for when you should activate your skills. So the goal here is to reach intensity 150 and then 300. So what you want to do is you want to activate in the right order so that you can take the health of the boss down as low as possible before your final hit. Skipping ahead to the first big hit that we're going to have, we're going to make sure that we have at least 4 celebration tiles on the board before we activate the ultra rare card, and we're going to activate both of them to destroy a total of 4 celebration tiles, and this is going to be the first big hit that we deal that takes over half of the health of the boss at 15.7 billion. And at this point, what we're going to do is we're going to continue to do matches, build up our celebration tiles because we're down to 2. And so what we want to do is we want to continue to build it up, and at about 300 intensity, we're going to start activating it again to bring it down one at a time to about 3 billion health. So the goal here is to reduce the health as much as possible before we finally get into the last big fight. And this is where you want to have 5 to 6 celebration tiles if possible and activate everything again, and then do the full match here to deal sufficient damage to be able to take the boss out with Overkill. And with this particular damage, we're able to deal enough damage to get 50% Overkill on the boss. Now finally, we're going to showcase the full event deck against a level 415 medium boss here. But I don't actually have the event relic at this point yet, so I am running a little low on the earth gem generation, so it's going to take a little bit of time before I actually get enough gem matches to get to the point where I can activate all of the skill. But once it's actually activated, what you can see is I will be able to continuously activate everything. I go from left to right. This is basically, you just want to activate your Master Collection card as well as your event card first, then your ultra rare, and then repeat that again. Before intensity 100, you'll be able to reset just one card, and then I activate Guru as well to get additional gems. So you can see I do this again, and once more, once I hit 100 intensity, now I reset 2 cards and fill a battle skill instead of just 1. So as intensity goes up, you'll see more and more cards that are able to be reset, but the ultra rare only resets the Master Collection card and the event card. That means in this particular setup, at any given time, I can only reset those 3 cards. I will never be able to reset the ultra rare. But with this, what I'll have is basically a buildup of the power gems here, and a good strategy actually would be to not try to do a power gem swap of all of the gems right away, as you saw there. In fact, a better way would be to save it for the next time. So if you look at the next set of matches, what I do is I simply do a gem match so that I could actually fill out the battle skill again, and then I repeat the cycle again. So I activate the event card, Master Collection card, and the ultra rare, and then do this again. And this time I have a much better board of power gems. I don't have Guru Pachysep active just yet, so I couldn't fill the board with gems, but I'm able to deal pretty good damage right there. And I just continuously repeat the cycle and basically just activate Master Collection card and ultra rare, and then go ahead to reset and do it again. So you can see this deck isn't fast. It takes a lot of build up, and a lot of the nuke damage there isn't as significant as I would have liked. All of the damage is really coming from the power gem match. Now we're ready for the one final big match, and with this we're able to deal a total of 25 billion damage, and we're able to take out the boss, but it's just enough to take out the boss without any overkill at this point. So those are the various different deck ideas I have, and that's it for this episode. Thank you for watching. I would love to hear your feedback. Please let me know what your thoughts are about this particular event. What is your experience like? Is this something that you like? Are the changes good, or how do you feel about them? So leave a comment below. Let me know what you think, and then I will see you in the next episode. Take care.